The terminal hums with boarding calls and rolling suitcases. An elderly man in a worn navy blazer stands quietly near gate 32, clutching a small paper boarding pass like it might vanish. His hands tremble, not from fear more, from age and the weight of traveling alone. People brush past him without looking. He checks the seat number again, lips moving as if rehearsing it. A framed photo peeks from his breast pocket, a young woman smiling. A gate agent scans his pass and frowns. "One moment," she says, too sharp for such a small request. She calls another agent, then glances at the screen again like it's accusing him. "Sir, step aside. There's an issue with your ticket." The old man nods politely, embarrassed. Behind him, the line stacks up with irritated travelers. Someone sighs loudly. The old man keeps his eyes down, as if respect can solve confusion too. Agents speak in low voices, but not low enough. Words like flagged, doesn't match, and needs security drift into the air. The old man hears them and swallows. He tries to explain he bought the ticket weeks ago. He's just visiting family, but his voice is soft and gets talked over. Businessman behind him mutters, "Here we go." Like the old man is a delay, not a person. Photo in his pocket. Shifts as he breathes. Two airport security officers approach, hands resting near their belts, faces unreadable. One asks for ID. The old man gives it quickly, almost grateful to comply. The officer studies it, then studies him, then the boarding. "Pass, sir. We need you to come with us." The old man blinks, confused. "Did I do something wrong?" he asks. The officer doesn't answer directly. Round them, phones rise subtly, hungry for a scene. The gate agent announces, too loudly, he will not be boarding this flight. Conversations stop. Heads turn. The old man's cheeks flush red, and he looks around like he's searching for someone to say, "This is a mistake." A mother pulls her child closer. A teenager smirks. The old man's shoulders sag. "Please," he says, voice cracking, "I have to get to Denver tonight." The words hang in the air and fall like coins into silence. At the side of the gate, the old man tries to explain again. "Back, my daughter. She's in the hospital," he says, tapping the photo, not realizing he's exposed it. "Be there." The security officer's expression doesn't change. "Sir, this is routine. Routine. Like stripping a man's dignity is an everyday procedure." The old man nods, as if nodding is all he has left. His fingers tighten around the photo until the edges bend. Group numbers get called. People step around the old man like his luggage left in the aisle. The gate agent avoids eye contact. One officer keeps him positioned away from the boarding lane, like proximity itself is a threat. The old man watches passengers hand over their passes and walk down the jet bridge, each step a door closing on him. He whispers, "I'm not dangerous," but the sentence is swallowed by the intercom announcing final boarding. A flight attendant returning from the jet bridge pauses. When she sees him, she's mid-30s, calm eyes, a practiced smile fading into concern. She watches the officers, the agent, the old man's trembling hands. "What's happening?" she asks. The gate agent says, "Ticket issue." The attendant's gaze sharpens. She crouches slightly, gentle. "Sir, are you okay?" The old man forces a smile like he doesn't deserve help. "I just want to see my daughter." Inside the aircraft, the captain is finishing pre-flight checks when the attendant approaches the cockpit doorway. "Captain, there's an older gentleman being pulled from the flight," she says. "He's not causing trouble. He's crying." The captain, a composed man in his 40s, looks up instantly. "Why is he being removed?" She shrugs, frustrated. "They're calling it a ticket issue, but it doesn't feel right." Captain's jaw tightens. "Show me." The captain walks into the jet bridge area and then into the gate space, still in uniform. Conversations falter when people realize who it is. He approaches the old man, not the officers. "Yes, sir," the captain says, voice steady. "I'm Captain Reynolds. Tell me what's going on." Old man looks up like he's staring at an authority figure who might finally listen. "They said I can't board," he whispers. "But I didn't do anything wrong." Captain Reynolds holds out his hand. The old man gives the boarding pass and ID. The captain reads carefully, then turns to the gate agent. "What exactly is the issue?" The agent stammers. "The system flagged it for verification." The captain asks, Verification of what? The agent glances at the officers for backup. We followed protocol. The captain's eyes narrow. Protocol doesn't mean disrespect. What is the specific mismatch? One officer says, name variation, middle initial missing. The captain looks back at the pass. A small formatting error, something fixable in seconds. That's it? He asks, incredulous. The gate agent shifts, then says the part she hoped no one would demand. He doesn't have a smartphone confirmation. Is a printed pass from the kiosk. The captain pauses, absorbing how thin the excuse is. He looks at the old man's hands paper, not apps, then back at them. The old man's photo slips further out of his pocket. Captain Reynolds gently picks it up and hands it back. Is this your daughter? The old man nods, eyes glossy. Name is Emily, he says. She's all I got. The captain's voice softens. You're trying to get to Denver for? Her. The old man nods again, unable to speak. For the first time, the crowd's energy shifts from entertainment to discomfort. Like they've just realized they've been watching cruelty. Captain Reynolds turns and speaks into the gate area with a clear, commanding tone. Pause. Boarding? The gate agent freezes. Captain, we can't. He cuts her off. Yes, we can. Pause boarding. Passengers halfway in line stop. Confused, the captain looks directly at security. No one is escorting him anywhere until this is resolved properly. The officer starts to protest, then sees the captain's expression and hesitates. The captain's authority isn't loud, it's absolute. Get me a station supervisor now, Captain Reynolds says. He turns to the old man. Sir, you're not in trouble? You're being treated unfairly, and that ends here. The old man's lips tremble. I don't want to cause problems, he whispers. The captain replies, You're not causing. Them, other people are, nearby. A passenger lowers their phones slowly, ashamed. Another passenger, a woman with a denim jacket, says under her breath, Finally.
Oh.
A supervisor arrives briskly, smiling professionally until she sees the captain and the paused boarding. Captain Reynolds, she begins. He hands her the pass and ID. Explain why my passenger was removed, he says. The supervisor scans the documents and looks at the agent. This is a minor mismatch, she says, irritation creeping into her voice. This can be corrected. The agent shrinks. Captain Reynolds asks, So why was security called? The supervisor's silence is loud. The supervisor types quickly, reissues the boarding pass, and hands it to the old man with a forced smile. There you go, sir. The old man stares at it like it's permission to breathe again. Captain Reynolds doesn't let it end there. I want an incident report, he says. And I want the passenger treated with respect. The supervisor nods, cornered. Hey. The old man whispers, Thank you, but his voice breaks on the word. As if gratitude is mixed with grief, Captain Reynolds turns to the waiting passengers and speaks loudly enough for all to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, will not depart until Mr. Carter is seated comfortably and receives an apology for how he was handled. Gasps ripple through the gate. The gate agent's face drains of color. The supervisor stiffens. The captain looks at the old man. You matter, he says simply. In that moment, the crowd realizes this wasn't a delay. It was a line being drawn. Captain Reynolds walks beside the old man down the jet bridge, not behind him like an escort, but beside him like a human being. The old man holds the photo, now with care, smoothing its bent edge. At the plane door, the flight attendant smiles warmly. Welcome aboard, she says, voice steady. Passengers inside look up, many suddenly polite, some ashamed. A teenager who earlier smirked now looks away. The old man steps into the cabin like he's reclaiming his name. Once seated, the old man wipes his eyes and stares at the photo of Emily. Captain Reynolds makes a brief announcement from the cockpit. Thank you for your patience. Kindness matters on this flight. The cabin is unusually quiet afterward. The old man closes his eyes, breathing as if he's been holding his breath for years. In his mind, he sees a hospital room and a promise kept. The plane lifts into the sky and, for once, justice comes before schedule.